With the cacophony of sounds on the issue of restructuring, a group calling itself Northern Media Influencers have spoken against the proposal to return Nigeria to regional system of government. They say it is a plan by the Bola Tinubu administration to dismantle the North. And yet there is a write-up on the social media now by one Dr. Akin Fakonda, seeking a return to the regional system of government as it was in 1963. In his words, he will want this to be effected by October 1, 2024. According to him, Nigeria needs to be decentralized, although it will remain one, but will have different regions within it. And as if all these are not enough, a group of Lagos indigenes are saying they are not prepared to be a part of the Odua Western region. They want to be on their own. So many discordant voices, all lending credence to the fact and truism that the hulabaloo in Nigeria is caused by the diversity and dichotomy of opinions. So where do we go from here? How can this be resolved? If Amadou Bello recognized the need for a loose structure which will give the regions a free hand to manage their affairs, then why are his political successors against restructuring? If Obafemi Awolowo wanted a federal system of government, then why are the same set of people, some of his political successors, singing discordant tunes? This is the issue that we're considering on Inside this morning, the hulabaloo, the diversities and dichotomies of restructuring. Where do we go from here? How do we resolve it? If we must have a restructuring, what is the structure that is being proposed by the Rebirth Group? That is what we have on set this morning.
Okay, let me introduce our guest, the regular guest on the program, Dikin Olabiola Dejoize. Thank you so much, Dikin, for your time.
Good morning.
Good morning, it's good to have you. And Mr. Laura Abumuloko is here. Good morning, Mr. Laura.
Thank you. Good morning.
Dikin, let's start with you. It appears some other groups are now joining DTRG. Femi talked about the proposal of Femi Fakonda. TRG has submitted its own proposal. And of course, many people are coming out to speak. Maybe because a lot of people expect that something meaningful will happen on October the 1st and all that. And so we are talking of cacophonies of ideas. Now, the TRG's model, how do we bring everything, into one? Because to me, having studied all of these documents, I want to give it to the TRG. But of course, is there any uniformity in all of these that are coming from different angles? Can they be harmonized?
Good morning, viewers at home and listeners. They can be harmonized. We are essentially saying the same thing in different words. Whether you call it amala, you call it two, you are talking about food. The cacophonous nature of what they are saying is simply that things are not as they should be. So everybody is coming out to say, okay, how do we solve this problem? That is, everybody agree there is a problem. Okay? Now, it may be cacophonous. There is nothing wrong with it. The structure we are talking about is what we want to look at as inclusive governance. Inclusive governance that will involve professionals, religious bodies, traditional rulers, and the man on the street. We cannot continue. Okay, we've said it here before that there are so many heterogeneous countries in the world. We're not the only one. How did Germany succeed in getting their acts together? United States of America is not made up of just one ethnic group. It's not made up of just one religious body. How did they manage? How is Switzerland managing their differences? How is India? India is not exactly a monoethnic society. Neither are they having just one religion. But the fact that you said even Bola Ahmed Tinubu, His Excellency, we know what he was saying before he got there. We know his activities in Nadeko. The idea here is this: there is an unstable polity, and when the polity is unstable, you cannot get your economy right, because the foundation of economy is the politics. So what we are saying really is this: in involving all these people, just like we had before, we had a parliamentary system before, which had a ceremonial president and a prime minister. Okay? What we are proposing today is that we will have something like that. Not that you hand the country over to an individual who will appoint ministers and can dismiss ministers, can sack ministers. No. So what it means is there will be something like a parliament. How you get there, we can explain that later. There will be something like a parliament, and there will be a central executive council made up of, let's say, three people from each region. And within these people, you appoint your prime minister. All of them are ministers manning different positions.
We'll still get to that place.
Okay.
We'll get to that place in the discourse.
Okay.
But you have all these groups coming up with this proposal, that proposal, this proposal. How do we have a marriage of ideas?
No, we all we need to do is to discuss. When you put an elephant down and you ask people to touch and explain, it depends on where you are touching. So what touches each person is what he is saying. We will all need to sit down and say, how do you think we can solve this problem? You bring out your own perception. I bring out my own perception. And once we are reasonable, what is our objective? We want to live together in peace, and we want to be able to make progress. So if that's what you want, and that's what I want, it's going to be very easy to harmonize our position.
But that has always been our problem, to harmonize, for all of us to come to a position, as it were. That's why they say that the diversities and the dichotomies of opinion are the problem of this country.
Because we are not looking at the same thing. We are not looking at the same thing. We said it here some times ago. Somebody described Nigeria as a well-stocked supermarket. Anybody just go there and pick whatever you fancy and get out, because it belongs to nobody. That is exactly the problem with Nigeria. You are going there to the center essentially to do what? To steal. Because nobody owns the place. But if we now put a structure in place that makes sure that you will be mindful of my interest before you do anything, I will be mindful of your interest before I even talk. We do not respect each other. If you respect me, you will not be doing in your face as these people are doing. What will you do? I buy a Prado of $150,000. So what? I elect you to go to the Senate, and I will never see you until the next 4 years, because you don't respect me. I'm a commodity, you can buy me. All these systems it should be clear that you cannot achieve anything with this type of a system.
With it, Mr. Boguloko. But the issue is, ideas, they say, rule the world. Is there any time that you can have uniformity of ideas? Okay, is it possible for men to reason alike? Because just like Femi said the other time, one of the things, I think we looked at that last week, Ijesha man would not want to bow down for an Ibadan man will say, must everything go to Egba man? All of these things are playing out on daily basis. Can we harmonize our thoughts? Different people talking to the government about the same thing, but in different ways.
Different words.
Buhari said, okay, with all of this cacophony of ideas, I'm confused about the concept of restructuring. Before Tinubu will be, confused as well. How can thoughts be harmonized on this same subject matter?
Thank you very much. The problem with us in this country is, it's just like a man that says, please don't confuse me. You want to enlighten me about something. Say, I don't want to listen to you because you will confuse me. The government or those in government in Nigeria, they are always very fearful. They are always afraid of the people, of gathering the people to talk about Nigeria. They will say Nigeria's unity is not negotiable. They will say when they want to draft a constitution, they say there are no-go areas. When they want to write a constitution, the military will write it for us. But we are the constituents. Why are they afraid? We've never really sat down and discussed. And the common saying is that when they want to, there's going to be a war, you first sit on the table. To end the war, you have to sit on a round table again. So why people are saying so many things, the Yoruba is natural. The Yoruba will say you cannot sleep in a 3-bedroom flat and all of you will face the same direction. It's not possible. And that is the reality of life. But you can convince each other, why am I facing this place? It is because there is ventilation around this place. That's why I'm sleeping facing this direction. You are facing that direction, maybe, the windows will not be in the same direction. That is the fact of life. People are not, you don't want to listen to each other. The people in Lagos that are saying they don't want to belong to Western Nigeria, who are they? As young as I am, there are still some areas in Agege that I found cocoa trees when they were buying lands there. So people in Agege, Ikeja, they planted cocoa. They were part of Western Nigeria. Those who are talking now, maybe they were the son of fish sellers, fish farmers, who said they are from another ethnic group. Yes. Probably they want to join their ethnic group. But there are some of us that are Yoruba. We will sit together. We will tell them what is the right thing. People, you are not coming to Ibadan again. That is the fear of most of them. Are we going to Ibadan again? Are we going to make Ibadan our headquarters? No, we've said it severally on this program that where the head is the headquarters. And the thing is going to be rotational. So let us, until people hear the truth of the matter, until they know what exactly people are saying, they have the right to have their own different shades of opinion. But it seems the people in government are afraid of discourse. I wonder what they are hiding. And those people who are saying from the north that they don't want regionalism. At least so far now we have 6 geopolitical zones. If 5 of the 6 says they want regionalism, then let them stay as a country where they are. So Nigeria, nobody owns us. We are all in Nigeria together. This time around, let people come out, say whatever they want to say. At least people will have their say, and maybe majority will have their way.
Okay, still on that, still where you left it off. We are now come ask the king. These things, the Sardauna, the Ahmadu Bello wanted this way, loose structure. Awolowo wanted federalism, all pointing
like
out
United
to
Emirates.
like the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
So something like that. But now, why are their political successors ganging up saying they don't want this?
I think the basic need of man, we should go back to Maslow's theory. I understand human being. I'm not talking about Egba, I'm not talking about Ibira. I'm talking about a human being.
Yes.
The first thing you need is food and shelter.
Yes.
Okay? The need of man is the same. If I've now met my need and I'm at the verge of affluence, I want to secure that and be sure nobody can tamper with my affluence. And that's why the Egba man is thinking, if everything go to Ibadan, it will affect my welfare. So I will say the major thing that we need to settle is, why are we doing all this? Ask an Hausa man that he said he doesn't want restructuring. What he wants is, he wants to preserve the present benefits that he thinks he's having. And he's thinking, maybe by your changing things, I might lose some of these privileges. Simple. It's the same thing with an Ondo man that is talking to an Ekiti man. What you want is basically your own welfare, your own interest. And now we are now saying, can we sit down? Can we understand this your need? And find a way of giving it to you without you disturbing others.
But unfortunately, these needs have been seen as inequality, as it were.
Yeah.
Let me give you an instance. So if you have certain marks in JAMB in the south, you are likely to be denied admission. But up north, you don't even have up to that, because the nation at some point in time agreed that these are educationally disadvantaged, state and region. So you want to withdraw all of these benefits from them. You expect them not to.
They will fight.
No. Again,
They can
luckily
establish
I will
their
tell
own
you,
university
I will,
now.
I will tell you this for free. I schooled in the north. I was in Guzau for years. I did my secondary school in Guzau. If you know where Guzau is, that's in Zamfara State. Right? I taught in Mayanchi. These guys are not dull. I'm telling you, if you challenge them, if you tell them what to do, people who are saying their education, they are only taking advantage of that. Since they've been saying that, what happened? 1960. I think I said it here. Part of the demand when they came to Ibadan was that they don't have enough educated people.
You should make
They
Hausa
want us to be speaking Hausa in this thing. They don't have enough clerks. They don't have enough staff. Right? So they don't want independence as at now because there is nobody to do it. I'm talking of 1950, please. How many years ago? Now, we got independence. You put federal character. You put this your jam dichotomy and whatever you are saying. How far? What has it done? What has it achieved? It is not meant for the citizens.
But for some individuals.
It's to preserve the privileges for some individuals. If you limit the number of these people going to university, just limit it to Anu's children, Makpadeonu's children. When they need graduates, they can't come to me, who is a butcher. They will go to Anu's children. They want to preserve their privileges. Simple. So nobody should come here. Aminu Kano was one of the most brilliant. Aminu Jubril was one of the most brilliant doctors. You need to watch Sanusi speak. I don't think Sanusi is from Ibadan. I don't think so. So how can they tell me now that they cannot produce more Sanusi if the aspiration of some of us when we were growing up is to be like Akinjide, to be like Awolowo? It's just political. all this your dichotomy, and that's why we said, wait, this thing is even simple. It's not compulsory. An average Chinese man may not speak English. They have their own education. Yes. It's not compulsory you speak English. It's not compulsory I tailor my education to suit you. Let's have some modicum of autonomy. Do what you think is right for you.
Again, these are issues because you are coming up with these issues. A particular region or tribe, ethnic nationality in Nigeria believes in nomadic education. And it was for that reason for years this tribe was castigated in Nigeria. And so the fear is there that, okay, we are not accepted and all that. So we'll coming to the table, address all of this. Will Nigeria come to see nomadic education as a form?
I know. Let me admire this your cloth. I'm sure people of your age in 1950 were not styling their cloth like this. Am I right? Why? People should grow. But again, if you do not want to grow, how does that concern me? Have your region. Practice whatever you think you want to practice there.
Saying, let's grow together at whatever cost.
It's not compulsory.
It's not possible.
It's not compulsory. Let's look at it this way. You have 2-3 children. One of them will say, Daddy, whether you like it or not, I'm going to be an accountant. Maybe you want that child to be a medical doctor for whatever reason. And the child is saying this. What you want is what you can excel in. You don't want to go to school. How does that affect me? Allow me to go. I'm not saying you must go. I'm saying I want to go to school. I want to train my children. And I want to create opportunities. There is no basis for our education being centrally managed. Your need, when they started UI here, they said the need of Nigerians as at that time was just to produce clerks.
Produce clerks, yes.
Right? Then they discovered some diseases and said they need a medical school that could major in tropical something, and that's how UCH came. As of today, you go to UI and say you want to study classics, what do you do with it? Because as at that time, that's what is needed. They tailor their education to fit that. You are training, you are taking people to school to train, to be useful, to get skill. So if for certain group, what they want is how to trade, because that's what they believe in. Why not go there, go and do your university and teach people how to trade? You want nomadic this thing, you want to be rearing cow. There is nothing wrong with it. You can make billions out of it. Okay. Go and train your children on how to do it. And you want to trek from Sokoto to Sagamu. Why not?
Over the past few weeks, we've seen this thing on the social media. Even members of the National Assembly had to complain that there is no document with them on restructuring or going parliamentary system of government. This one was presented by Dr. Akinfakponda, yes. And it's been on the social media. People have been either commenting or tearing it down or whatever. In what ways are his own propositions different from the structure being proposed by the Liberty Group?
No, okay, let me reveal this if need be. Akinfakponda is a friend, is a brother.
Okay.
We think alike. We are both concerned about the future of our children. He put forward a structure, essentially to force us, and I'm very grateful to God that he succeeded in doing it, is to force us to discuss. Now you can't pretend that you don't hear, you are talking about it. So all of us, the people in the assembly, said they don't have it, but they can't pretend that they don't know now because they are reacting to what they know. The Arewa people that are talking, they said they don't want to be part of it. They cannot pretend they don't know. It's a different story if I've not had something. but I cannot react to what I do not know. So, Akinfaponda has succeeded in whipping this up, and all of us are now discussing it. If I were in a position, I will gauge what people are saying and now say, come, that structure you are talking about, how will it benefit an average Sokoto man, an average Shagamu man? Your own idea, bring it. I bring my own. He bring his own. And then we now sit down. Like I said, the basic thing is this. You don't want to lose your right. You want to be able to eat your amala with ewedu. Basically, that's what man is all about. Right? So, if I can guarantee this with this structure, I will make sure your welfare is taken care of without jeopardizing my own interest. God has given you some assets. I should not deny you the right to use such assets. What Akinfaponda is saying simply is this: there is trouble in the land. He's making his own proposal. The legislature that is saying they don't know, I don't know how to react to that, because if you do not know, you won't react. So now that you know that you are reacting to something, what stop them? I'm sure the guy is not exactly that difficult to locate. What stop them from saying, bring that copy of what you said you are talking about?
It's on the internet.
I mean, let's now pretend as if this guy don't have access to internet. Do you understand what I'm saying? What stop them? They are reacting. Rather than reacting that way, the Lagos people reacted. And there is absolutely nothing wrong.
But the Rebirth group also submitted something to the National Assembly.
We submitted, and we were talking about 6 regions.
Yes.
Right? And we said 6 regions, or as agreed. Go through that document by the city, by the country. If you want 1 million regions, why not? So long as you are able to take care of yourself, there is nobody that is going to give you money from anywhere.
Mr. Bogoloko, he puts a date to when he wants it to.
October 1, 2024.
TRG, is there any date? Are you also pegging the implementation at a particular date? Because the heat seems to be on. Who knows, maybe TRG's document will be the next to be denied or not. But which date are you looking at?
Our own proposal is not going to be a piecemeal arrangement. And we want Nigeria, we are saying we want a rebate. Our own is going to take a lot of time, because in our document we gave a condition that old wounds should be healed. Let us talk together. Let us appeal to each other. Let us see ourselves as Nigerians. Let us agree that we want to be Nigerians.
So that's
the Rebirth Commission.
That stage you cannot boycott that. You just have to. That's why we are saying Rebirth Commission should be established. And Nigeria is not going anywhere if we don't do that. That is the basic truth.
Really?
We have to do that, because there are so many grievances, there are so many wounded egos, and you just can't say, you put something down and say people should go and operate. Some people are saying, away with Nigeria, Biafra, Yoruba nation. There must be something prompting them to react that way. That is why Dickens was saying, let us call each other together. Let us reason together and say, this is our own country. Let us make it work. You tell me what you want, I tell you my own. Then there will be compromise and agreements here and there.
How would you feel if on the floor of the parliament, either the Senate or the Green Chamber, you see a member, debating or sponsoring some of this model? Does TRG really care?
Well, we will care, because it's not going to be piecemeal. And in our own proposition, in our own thinking, this thing, the National Assembly as it is now, is not fully representative of the people. There was a constitution drafted giving advantages to certain people, more local governments, which means more members. A section of the country can decide your fate. No, it is the discussion will always go their own direction. That is not what we want. We want equal representation from each region. So it is not as it is now. The National Assembly cannot discuss Nigerian constitution. We cannot. The rebate we are talking about is not something they can do. We have to agree. We know we give it to them. The constitution place them at the aim of affairs, the 1999 constitution. And this 1999 constitution, we are saying it is not a constitution that Nigerians made. It was a military constitution that gave them such power.
Though with the clause we Nigerians.
The clause we Nigerians, which people are saying is a lie.
Okay, before we open the phone lines, Dikin, just in a nutshell, this is something we have to look at next week. Can you give us what the structure of these United Regions of Nigeria that the TRG is proposing, what it looks like?
Thank you. What it looks like is this. Each region, we have, let's say, 18 members elected from the region, by the people of the region. This 18 member, we are looking at two structures here, please, which we merge together to become the Supreme Council. Okay? But the major, this thing, 18 people from each region will go to the center. They will elect three people from each region. Out of these 18, okay. They will elect three people from each region to go to the executive. So that means you are having a marriage of your executive and your legislature. The only issue here is the executive is full-time, the legislature is part-time. So you will be having per quarter what we call legislative week. Some people are saying it can be legislative weeks, meaning 2 weeks or just 1 week. So you go there part-time, do your job, and come back. Right? Now, these three people from each region, meaning if we accept 6, that means 18. That's the number of ministries that Nigeria will have. You don't just go there and be creating ministry anyhow. Okay? So these 18 people are all having their own ministers, actually. They are all having portfolios.
Yes.
These 18 people will now say it is the turn of Northwest to produce the prime minister, the head of the ministers.
Yes.
He is a minister, prime, just number one, that's all. We are equal. So it's the turn of Sokoto. Automatically, Enugu will produce the deputy. When Sokoto steps down, automatically the deputy steps in.
Which period?
After maximum 2 periods, because we are having collegiate.
After 2 years?
2 years.
Okay.
We are having a collegiate period. 6 years, your team, those 18 people have only one term of 6 years.
Okay.
Then within these 6 years, they will rotate the positions amongst themselves. So if Enugu, let me use such as example, Northwest is the president, is the prime minister. Southeast is the deputy. Once 2 years finishes, Northwest is stepping down, Southeast is taking over. Now, if for whatever reason any of them dies, the president is dead, or the prime minister is dead, or the deputy, somebody from that zone automatically, because it's part of the team 18, this thing, you have 3.
Yes.
So one of the other 3 will step in
zone.
even if it's just for 1 day, you are only completing that term.
Okay.
And after that, after your 2 years, you step in. Now another zone is producing the speaker. Now there will be the council of elders, which is made up of the traditional rulers. One traditional ruler will represent each zone.
Dikin, apologies. Are you looking at the bicameral legislature?
In a way, yes.
Okay.
So the council of elders
we now have the traditional rulers, 3 religious leaders from each region, and 4 professionals from each region going there. We are looking at commerce, people who understand business. We are looking at law, people who understand how things should be. We are looking at security, and we are looking at diplomacy. So these 4 people, these 4 professionals, we join the Council of Elders. That automatically, there is association of professionals in Nigeria. Okay, you have accountants there, you have medical people there. They will elect from their region somebody to go and represent them as professionals. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's the way it will be. It's an inclusive thing. The Oba is involved. And the 2 of them, the parliament, don't forget the parliament is both executive and
legislature.
Right? Now, both of them, Council of Elder and whatever, must have to consider any bill
before it becomes law.
Right. I'm sorry, you can't depose any emir.
I think we need to dedicate time to this.
We have to take next
to
week
look at this because
already people are trying to call.
I didn't hear they talk about the president.
The Council of Elders, right?
Yeah.
We produce the president.
But it will be a nominal president.
It's a ceremonial.
All
Now,
right.
if you want to be part of the discourse, we just got little time left. 0916-104-7698, 0811-052-6487, or 0902-280-9257. We appeal to you to please go straight to the point.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
I am Stephen Daly. I am calling from Kingdom.
All right, welcome.
What can we call it? Within our jurisdiction, one thing that your move should not be taken. I want you to tell you that the one thing that the system we are practicing is very not a country. Not. They are under the democracy and what do you call it? Catastrophe. That is the people that are there. I think they do not know everything. Finally, our system of government today is advocacy. I think nothing on the card.
Okay, Mr. Stephen. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stephen Oyedele. Hello, good morning. You're welcome.
Thank God for having Nigeria and inside this time around. And the men that are there. Sentiments apart, sir. I want to thank the GRT for this proposal. It was a perfect one. And I pray that Lord will grant the National Assembly the opportunity to grant it as it's been written by GRT. Very, very perfect and welcome, sir. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Olusegun Taole. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
I am Primate Sholashitu calling from Ijebu in Ogun State.
You're welcome, Primate.
I think the Rebel Group mission has come to stay. And our mission has been clearly interpreted. So when I was roaming about within Lagos, Ogun, Ekiti, Ondo, to gather elders in Yoruba land to come to this mission, the first question to this mission is it a lawful organization? That is one. Now, when do we start state local government registration? How does somebody come in? Now we've known our mission. So I want to demand on this platform that when we come every week, if it is just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes from our discourse of the people in the house, we should start telling us what we should be doing as a mission member.
Okay.
Good morning.
Thank you
so much, Primate Shitu, for your time on the program this morning. If you've called before, repeat those calls. The numbers are there. Okay, let's check who is here. Hello, good morning. Thank you.
I want to thank our uncles of our they've been doing massive job. Now, my question is the major problem we have with the present political structure in this country is about our government officials' accessibility to money, easily to money. Let me put it that way. They can access money easily. Please, how are you going to organize institutions that kind of when we get to that stage, when they will not have access to easy money? They are easily, and that kind of a thing. So thank you.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you.
This is Anthony.
Mr. Anthony, welcome.
You know, I was not surprised to hear that the Northerners will oppose this, the idea of going back to the region. I know, we've been saying it. But like what the Deacon has said, maybe it's an inferiority complex that is troubling them. They have that potential, but they don't know what to harness or tap it. And I think maybe they need to be enlightened more about this program, about these ideas. Maybe if they understand it and they know the benefit, they know that they have potential, their region, God has blessed them as well, that what they need is just to put their head on the ground and to access their region, and they can also develop.
Okay.
But one thing I know is this problem we are facing in this country will continue. As long as we are operating on this platform, on this system of government.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Anthony.
Because this problem is very systemic. And that is why we need to come back to the round table.
Okay.
And define the cause of running this country so that at least we can have a country we'll be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anthony, for your time. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, madam.
From Ibadan.
Welcome.
They are pretending as if they don't know what is happening about the restructuring. Even if they have not known before, it is observation that they have not seen it, declare that they have already known that something is fishing. And we need to do something fast. Why do they bring up the old national item in brotherhood with them if they have not known? They have really known. They should act on it. And we want to restructure this to live back this country. God will help you and you will uplift it.
Amen. All right, thank you so much, Madam Deborah. Okay, the last caller for today. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm Samson Akintayo.
Welcome.
I want to appeal to Southwesterners to please prepare ahead. The Northerners know how to deceive. When we were clamoring for independence, they pretended as if they were not ready. But when we finally got the independence, truth be told, they own Nigeria. Now we are clamoring for restructuring. They are telling us, they are pretending as if they don't know what it means. But by the time this thing comes, you will see what happens again. Let's Southwesterners be wise. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Samson Akintayo. I'm afraid we may not be able to pick more calls because of our time. As we wrap up on the program, Dikin, let me start. Those people in Lagos State that are already exercising the fear just because a document was thrown and it was denied, already saying, no, we don't want to go with this region and all that. Is that in order? Isn't that too early?
It's not too early. What is too early there? Everybody knows there is an urgency in this. And when my friend here was talking, you are talking about timeline. It is our hope that the president will inaugurate on or before October 1, National Rebate Commission. So that we will all be talking.
That is the takeoff point.
That's the takeoff point. There are many injured people. There are historical wounds to heal. On this cause that I've been listening to some people, some realistically are saying they are tired. Not because they are actually tired, but when you know you have potential that you cannot achieve,
Maximize.
you cannot harness whatever is the asset you have. That's why these guys are running away. That's why they are jackpying. Because they can't see their future in the type of Nigeria we are building. So I pray that Tinubu will come to terms with the reality of our situation.
Okay.
And between now and October 1, he will inaugurate National Rebate Commission, which will have truth, reconciliation and unity. as the first step, we need to tell ourselves the truth. We need to find a way of reconciling. Then we now talk of unity.
Okay. All right, Mr. Buguluku.
Yeah. What we really need in this country is for us to talk. Let us discuss. People should not fear calling a meeting of ethnic nationalities. If you go deep down, Nigerians, nobody really want to go, but because they are frustrated. But when you give them the opportunity to voice out their concern and their fear, and their fears are allayed, I think everybody everybody loves Nigeria, but the way they want Nigeria to operate is it's not the way it is operating. That's why people are frustrated.
I see
We should talk.
I see the National Assembly inviting TRG representatives and of course Mr. Akinfadunda and others in recent, very
in
recent.
that, like, you are another dreamer, just like the Americans, and the dream will come to true. You have a dream and it will come true.
I think it's the best way for us to call it a day. Thank you so much, everyone who's been part of the program. Our sincere appreciation to our regular guest, the Kenny Olabioladejo. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
For today, Mr. Laura Buguluku, thank you so much for your time. Hi, I'm Oluwapo Moride. It can only get better. There are many rivers to cross, as Femi will always remind us on each edition of People's Parliament. But of course, we're going somewhere. We shouldn't get wearied. We would, land in a safe harbor. See you next week.
Thank you, Anoluwapo. We are going somewhere, and we still have very many rivers to cross in any case, because the journey has just started. The journey to a new Nigeria has just started, and you and me can make this happen. Next week, God willing, we'll be looking at the structure in details as proposed by TRG and compare with what Akinfadunda is doing, and see areas where we can harmonize, where things can be put together, and where all of us as Nigerians can fit into that new Nigeria we are dreaming of and that we are proposing. This is where we'll be drawing the curtain on today's edition of Insight. My name is Adefemi Makpaderin with my colleague Anoluwapo Omorinde. We want to thank our backroom staff, Tunde Adeyefa, Tope Olalude, Godwin, Hosseini Sulaiman, and all of them back there. For doing a good job. And also, once again, we appreciate our regular guests, Dichotomy Olabioladejo and Mr. Laulu Aboguloko, for
Thank you.
We are charging you with the assignment for next week.
No problem.
The structure.
God willing.
God willing.
We shall meet.
So, to all of us back home, and wherever you are watching and listening to us, we wish you a very pleasant day, and God bless you. See you next week.